Shekalim daf tezayin. The Gemara brings machlokes tanoim and how they made the Shemen hamishchah b'mei Moshe. And Yehuda says that the Shemen hamishchah b'mei Moshe kam in nisim nasabay mitchilas v'atzoifay. The Panim Yafis and other Achronim ask that according to this shita, that the Shemen hamishchah that b'mei Moshe, the Asiya was derech neis, and only through the nisim you were able to make the Shemen hamishchah. So what's understanding of the Issa? The Torah says, "Maskunta l'sasa kamoyu," you can't make a similar ma'isa of the Shemen hamishchah, not for its mitzvah, if it can't be made without an ace, and only with an ace it was made. So what's the Isser of Maskunta l'sasa kamoyu? On that, the Pan Yafis says a chiddush that the Isser is if you try to do similar to the Shemen hamishchah b'mei Moshe, you're over. And he says, even though you didn't make it in the same way because it needed an ace for its process, since you tried to make the similar asiyah, you're over. And he says, like Rava says in Tamura, and you like it because you're over a member Rachmana. That means even though you didn't accomplish the Isser, what was nichal in the Isser, nevertheless, since you tried to do what the Torah said you can't do, you're like it. And Panim Yafis is tzorchi and called how you could compare it to Yavalei Mahani. You did physically the same action that Torah said you shouldn't do. You mekadesh a grusha, even though it's not chal the kedushin. You did the action of the mekadesh grusha. If you steal, even if it's not chal, you stole. But over here, the Issa is making this Shemen, and the Shemen hamishchah, the process of making the Shemen needs a miracle, so you didn't do this tarufis, so how can you get Malkus? The Biskarov, and Shurman Krisos, says the understanding is that Yehuda agrees to the process of the first opinion that there is a mahalach to make the Shemen hamishchah without an ace, but he held you don't need the entire procedure to make the Shemen hamishchah. There was an ace and it was not necessary. But Hamias, he agrees there is a mahalach to make the tarus of Shemen hamishchah even without an ace, so therefore it's also hativ the Isser. Moving further on, the Mar says Melachim, kings of Klal Yisrael, needed a mashiach with the Shemen hamishchah, but a melech did not need. If he inherited the melucha from his father, you don't need to be nimshech b'Shemen hamishchah. But b'shas the machlokes, if there's a dispute for the kingdom, then you do need a mashiach b'Shemen hamishchah. There's machlokes Rashi and the Rambam in the understanding why you need a mashiach at the time of machlokes. Rashi and Kisus is mashma at the time of machlokes there's no Yerusha of the melucha. So since the son is not acquiring the melucha from his father, it's a new melucha. On the new melucha you need mashiach b'Shemen hamishchah. However, the Rambam is mashma that the mashiach is to quiet down the machlokes. You establish that one day your anointing is the king, and that will quiet down the machlokes. The thing is, in the Biskarov ask, what's the understanding according to the Rambam that it's chal the Yerusha without the Mashiach b'Shemen hamishchah? So how you allowed to use and be moil b'Shemen hamishchah to quiet down the machlokes? It's tzorchi and oid. According to Rashi, at the time of the machlokes, there's no Yerusha of the Melucha tzorchi, and the first king was a Bailam on the Melucha. So why isn't it automatically inherited to the son? And that there's a machlokes, it's only a side problem. And why is that affect the Iker Yerusha? So you can explain this in according to Yesod from Zalman's Siratzkin Zechayim Levracha, the Lutzkerov in his Sefer as Naim L'Torah in Parashas Koirach, that he says that the pasuk says that Moshe Rabbeinu went to Dasan Vaviram, and he asked how was Moshe Rabbeinu allowed to go to Dasan Vaviram, and Moshe Rabbeinu had a din of a melech, and melech shemochel al kvoide ein kvoide machol. So how was he allowed to go to the house of Dasan Vaviram at the time of machlokes? So he says the answer is according to Zmuvur and Yerushalmi in Horiyus, that David HaMelech at the time that he ran away from Absalom, if he would have sinned, he would bring a korban seer like a hedyot and not a seer like a melech. So he says, you see from this Yerushalmi that even though David HaMelech was a king, since there was of machlokes and he was running away from Avshalom, he lost his status of a king. So you see a tremendous yesod that the din melech is totally in the fact that you have melucha b'poyel. And if you don't have melucha b'poyel, you don't have the authority, you automatically lose the status of the melech. So therefore he had to bring a korban like a hedyot. Therefore Moshe Rabbeinu was allowed to embarrass himself and go to the house of Dasan Aviram. So according to this, you could explain that that's the understanding. According to Rashi, at the time of Machlokes, it's bottled the Yerusha, because since it's a Machlokes, it's bottled the Chefza of the Din Melech. And according to this, even according to the Rambam, it's not the Pshat that's a side problem that we be hamishchah to be mashke the machlokes. Since it's machlokes, it's pegeya in the ikar malchus, and we have to be hamishchah to solidify the actual chefza of the malchus. And like this, it's not such a big machlokes. Rashi and the Rambam agrees that's a chesor in the ikar malchus because of the machlokes. And Be'emes Iyun, the Biskurov, this mashma b'teich dvorov, his meramis to the sisoid at the time of the machlokes, it's a chesorin in the ikar melucha. Moving further on, the Gemara says, Malchi Beis David, Yemoishich with the Shemen hamishchah, not Malchi Yisrael. Tosfos says that's only for the time of the melucha of Beis David. However, Shaul was nimshach with Shemen hamishchah. And Sarachin, what's the understanding? Why is it dafka after the melucha of David? The Biskurov in Krisis explains that even if you'll have a melech, a Malchi Yisrael, that have a halacha of a melech for all dinim, he's still not the main melech in Klal Yisrael. After the time that it was Nimlech David HaMelech, it was established that the main melucha in Klal Yisrael would be Malchus Beis David. And even if you have a melucha for Malchi Yisrael, it's not the main melucha. And the halacha of Shemen hamishchah is only by ikar melech. He says you find specific halachas, David, a king of Malchi Beis David, in Yeshiva Ba'azor El Malchi Beis David. But you see this specific halacha, the Gabi Malchus Beis David. And the Biskurov continues, furthermore, that the same way you find that there's halacha of Bechira in the Makam HaMikdash, who in this halacha of Bechira who was chosen the Malchi Beis David, that was only Chal at the time that David was the king, and then it was chosen that the main Melucha in Klal Yisrael would be Malchus Beis David and Lazari. Ayin Meshachachma that says a different understanding, that the reason why only Malchus Beis David is Nimshachim Shemen hamishchah is because in the Pasuk it says L'Doirosam, and only by Malchus Beis David the Melucha will continue L'Doiros. However, Malchus Yisrael is only limited to a few generations at the time of the Malchus Yisrael.